Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Yeah, CK, good to see you again. How we doing, guys?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to see everybody. How we doing, guys? How you doing, guys? Hello, how you doing? What's up? How you doing? Good to see you.
All right, guys. We got Mark Madsen here. Just gonna chat a little hoops. CK, you ready? Okay. We'll open it up with a question from Jeff Prada.
Mark, just tell us how your team's looking. And last year you guys got it rolling about middle of the year, but early it was difficult to find that cohesiveness. Do you see a difference this year in that regard?
We're excited. We're incredibly excited about our group. We have, 10, 11, 12 newcomers from different programs, and so it's been a great opportunity to bring the group together, to install our new terminology that, everyone comes from different terminology. And so now we've had a summer to put in our system, our sets, our terminology. The guys have embraced it. The team has really been coming together, and I'm incredibly excited about the year.
Do you think you're farther ahead now in terms of coming together than you were this time last year?
I do think so, because we knew coming in that we had such a diverse group coming from so many different programs. It's been an emphasis point to really accelerate the teaching process starting in the summer. We built some great teaching videos that the guys could watch on their own on a voluntary basis, and we were able to come in and teach them. And I do think we're further ahead this year than we were last year.
Mark, what are a couple of the things you're most excited about with this roster this year heading into the season?
I think we have a very unselfish group. We have a group that really gets excited to make their teammates better. We have a group that, at times is very fiery. You want that competitive fire on the court. We see that with these players. We saw it today in practice, and it was outstanding.
Talk about family. Everybody talks about family. What does that mean in practice?
I think to me, being part of a basketball family is being honest with each other. It's having these honest conversations. Hey, when someone's doing a great job, let them know. Let them know they're having an outstanding practice. Let them know all the great things they're doing. When they're not doing their job, we have to have those honest conversations also. We have to let guys know, hey, we need more. We need more focus. We need more attention to detail. We need the rotation to be faster. We need the closeout to be more sound. And so I think honesty is a big part of what we discuss in this basketball family.
Your starting lineup is?
We have a number of guys. We probably have 8, 9, 10 guys that are all capable of starting. And we'll narrow in, we'll continue to hone that, and we'll unveil it on opening night.
Who are some of your biggest scoring threats right now as it looks, especially from the perimeter?
Yeah, we have a lot of different players that can score the ball. I'll start with Javon Blackshear, a proven scorer at multiple different levels throughout his whole career at Grand Canyon. You can go down the line. You look at Andres Stojakovic, somebody that knocks down the three, had a great freshman season at Stanford. He can score the ball. DJ Campbell, he's a guy that really has great footwork on the perimeter. He can also get out of the post and post guys up. He knocks down the three. He led his conference in three-point percentage last year. BJ Omar, really an exciting player. Can handle the ball, has tremendous length. He's also somebody that can score the ball. So we have no shortage of guys that can put the ball in the hole.
Coach, can we expect to see more of Devin Curtis after last year? I believe his redshirt.
Yeah, Devin Curtis, he brings so much to the team. He brings great leadership. He brings a voice. He's the guy that I know throughout the year is going to go into games and help us win. He's someone that, is not afraid to speak his mind when something's going on in the team room, in the film room, on the court during practice, and in the locker room when he's just there with the players. I think it depends on the game. I think it will depend on the tempo. It will depend on the style of play. But we're definitely capable of playing 10, 11 guys.
We expect to see a little bit of Jeremiah Wilkinson this year?
Jeremiah Wilkinson has been fantastic. From Atlanta, he's a very smart basketball player. He can shoot it. He can drive left and right. His teammates love him. Jeremiah is someone that's going to be a very exciting talent to watch for all the fans that come into Hospital.
Mark, what are you looking for on Monday? What do you want to see from your guys that first night?
I want to see great defense. I want to see people share the basketball. I think if we play tremendous defense and the ball is moving, I think it keeps everyone involved, and I think it will really help us win.
There's been a good level of energy on the football program, the algorithm and everything else. How has that affected your team development going forward?
Yeah, I think there's been so much energy around really Cal athletics going back to the summertime with all the gold medalists that did such such a good job in the Olympics. And then you look at the football success. We're feeding off of that. We're feeding off of that. We hope to continue that going into our first year at the ACC.
Coach, the basketball committee lost Coach Amir Abdur.
Yeah.
Could you talk about what he meant to you and what his impact on the community?
You know, Amir and I, when I first took my first NCAA head coaching job at Utah Valley University, a friend of mine called me and he said, come down to this first time head coaches seminar in Atlanta. You pay $1,500 to go down there, they tell you how to be a coach. You know? So I flew down there and I sat with Amir. Amir was there also. And you know, just having conversations with him, seeing the success that he's had. First of all, I'm incredibly proud of who he was as a person. He was not only a great coach, but a family man, a student of the game, and someone that really cared about his players. And so when the coaching fraternity, when we lose a great one like Amir, I think it all gives us a pause to reflect and to be grateful that he shared with us everything that he did. To be grateful for the man that he was and is. To be grateful for his legacy and his family, even through the pain.
Did you happen to speak with Sharif in the meantime?
Yeah, I texted with Sharif just to kind of express my condolences, and you know, I know it's a very difficult and hard time for the family, given how unexpected it was.
What kind of a player is Joshua Ola-Joseph?
Yeah, we call him JOJ. JOJ is someone that has such a desire to work, he has a desire to learn, and JOJ has been great. You know, the athleticism, the shooting ability, the tenacity. He has all those things. He showcased that up at University of Minnesota, and now he's going to be showcasing that here, and he's going to help the team.
Is he a four, or can you play either forward spot or?
JOJ can play multiple positions. He can play some 4, he can play some 3. I think if we go small, he can play some 5.
Some new guys in the mix. How does the game plan look different this year compared to last year?
As a coach, you really try to focus on your players' strengths. And so it's been exciting for me just over the last 3 or 4 months to be in the gym with these guys, to learn about their strengths. You know, you watch all the film, you study the analytics, and you think you have an idea of what they can do. And a lot of times you do, and then they come onto the court, and sometimes they show you things that you didn't know that they could do. And so it's exciting to really take each player and to try to build on their strengths.
Is Campbell a 1 or a 2?
You know, DJ Campbell can play, I think he can play 3 or 4 different positions. Today in our workout, I had him play some 1. He's played the 2. He played some 3 in our scrimmages. You know, if we go small, he can guard 4s because of his strength, his physical strength. DJ Campbell is the ultimate competitor. DJ Campbell is somebody who, whenever he walks into the gym, he elevates the energy in the gym just by who he is as a person. He's out there shooting right now.
Coach, when you talk about the transfer portal and all the acquisitions and then the high school recruiting process, does Jalen Tyson having the success he did here last year and then Jaylen Brown winning finals MVP on top of that kind of build as, you know, instant sales pitch?
Well, what we find with recruiting is a lot of times the players we're recruiting, they want to speak with the players we've coached. And so, you know, you look at Jaylen Brown, all the success that he's had. His base and where he started was at Cal. You know, and now he was the MVP, you know, the NBA Finals. You look at Jalen Tyson. We've had so many recruits that reach out to JT and ask him about what the basketball experience was here. And he had a phenomenal experience here. So that's really helped in our recruiting battles.
What's the difference between a team like this one lately, where you could have any one of 4 or 5 or 6 leading scorers in a given game versus having a clear leader versus Jalen? Is it a little bit easier when you don't have a guy that's the focal point of the defense, where you can count on multiple guys to be the guy on any given night?
I think we have multiple different guys that can step into an elevated role on a night in and night out basis. I view that as a strength because, you know, if you have 1 or 2 main guys, the defense can really key in on those guys. They're not going to be able to key in on any one guy because we have so many different threats. There's going to be better floor spacing. You know, there's going to be guys that can come off the bench and have really strong bursts on the defensive side and on the offensive side. And so that helps our team.
The coaches have a big lesson from your first year in the program that you definitely said, we're going to do something different going into year 2.
You know, we really tried to do this summer. You know, this summer as a coaching staff, you have an abundance of time. You're recruiting, you're on flights, you know, you're in gyms evaluating talent. You have time to think and process. And so we really tried to look at everything. You know, where can we get better in our nutrition? Where can we get better in our travel? How can we improve in our game preparation and our teaching of the players? You know, what are the situations in games and some of those close games that we lost that we can learn from and get better from? So we really tried to do a deep dive into those areas and more additional areas over the summer. We tried to get a lot better from.
You have so many transfers. Does it take longer into the season to achieve the chemistry and rhythm they need to achieve?
You know what we try to do this year, Jake, is some coaches in the summertime, you get 4 hours in the summertime. Some coaches just take 2 sessions of 2 hours each on the court. A lot of times we did 4 one-hour sessions because there's so many new guys, and because, you know, I'm a big believer in repetition, teaching in different ways. You know, we'll show film, we'll diagram things on the whiteboard, we'll walk through on the court. And I think the more you can touch the guys, the more integrated they become, and the better they can learn the system.
Anything further from Coach?
But I think we have one more right here.
One more.
I've talked a lot about developing strength
Yeah.
and having a lot of newcomers on
Yeah.
the team. What has it been like developing team chemistry and seeing how the players have bonded over the
Yeah.
last few months?
You know, that's something we take really seriously. You know, I've had the team over multiple times to my house for meals, to hang out with my kids and my wife. The staff comes. You know, I think it's really important for us to spend time with players away from the court. You know, and so I'll have different players just come by the office. Let's just talk about life. Let's not talk about basketball every day. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about the important things. You know, my wife Hannah and I are expecting. She's 3 days overdue right now. And so I share with the guys kind of what that's like for me. You know, the anticipation of my wife having a little boy. And so we really try to talk about things outside of just the everyday basketball, which is so important to all of us, but it never supersedes life.
What is it like for you right now?
Well, I'll tell you this, I was doing a film session earlier, and somebody saw that Hannah had called me, and so I immediately left the film session. Now, luckily, it was just a small medical, you know, how do I say it, a follow-up or a verification thing that we just discussed. So it wasn't D-Day, but we're excited. We're really
Is she on
excited.
time the first quarter?
She's always been 6 to 8 days late. So that puts us right on opening night.
And you know you're having a boy?
We're having a boy.
And do you have a name?
We're zeroing in on a name. Zeroing in.
With the delay in the birth and your height, those must be big babies.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything HIPAA-wise, but we've had we've had some big things. You know?
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.